Hey, welcome to my channel. Good early morning. It ain't been daylight too long. I figured David's got to come home, finish working on his truck. We'll talk about that in a minute. And so I don't know if he'll be making engine revving noises and, stuff like that. So I figured we'd go on and get this done. But it is so sticky out here. It is just, it's like, it's not a sauna yet, but it's just, listen, humidity. I envy y'all that live somewhere that's hot but without the humidity. That's what makes it so hot here. If it wasn't for that, I think I could stand the hot temperatures better if it wasn't so humid, but we will never know unless I get to move to the mountains. But we can get hot up there too. So anyway, for weigh-in this week, I was a bit disappointed. I did not gain, but I did not lose. I stayed exactly the same, 331.1. It always amazes me when you have the exact same weight when you weigh in. That's just, to me, that's funny. It seems like it shouldn't be that way. There should be a variance in there somewhere. But that was a zero change, and that still leaves me at 46 pounds even that I have lost. That's hot. Just in case you didn't know. So y'all know the dumpster story, right? It went on. We tried from last Tuesday, I think it was, Tuesday or Wednesday, been trying to get that dumpster out of this yard. They didn't come get it until yesterday. And I'm going to tell you how many phone calls he made, how many different people he talked to, how ugly he had to get. They kept saying, take off more, take off more. So that cost us an extra day Bobcat. That cost us an extra dumpster, which we did not get from them. They were supposed to have brought a third dumpster when they come to pick up the second one. The first time they were supposed to have brought a third dumpster because a third dumpster because they made him take some off, and so he needed another dumpster to get what that was. Let's see, he had to take some off. He took some off anyway, I think, before they came, because he got to think that was right, because he got looking at it and thinking that might be a little bit too much, so he went ahead and took some off. So we were going to get that third dumpster anyway. We ended up having to get a fourth one. No, 5 dumpsters. We had 5 dumpsters. So anyway, they come to get it the first time for the second dumpster, and they were supposed to bring a third one. What he did the first time when he brought the second one, he backed the dumpster, empty dumpster right here where David parks in front of the house, pulled back there, got the full dumpster, parked it on the road, backed the empty dumpster back in that spot, and then took the full one. That's what he was supposed to have done when he come got the second one. Well, he didn't, but they still charged us because you pay in advance, and they got your debit card number, so they take your money out. What we ended up having to do is I had to go to the bank, had to sign papers, tell them we didn't get this, and of all the times he talked to them complaining about why they keep making us take more off, why they're not picking it up, they never offered to give him his money back. But one of the times he talked to the guy who he had talked to before, he admitted it was their fault from the get-go. They sent us the wrong dumpster in the beginning. He filled it up like he's supposed to. When they brought that second one, the first one went no problem. Second one filled it up the same, and then they kept saying, and that's when I told you, if they come out and they call it a dry run, then they charge you a couple $100, and well, they're not charging David because he got that settled after 4 people. But he admitted, he said, we sent you the wrong dumpster and you should have had a roll off. This one, the truck just like hooks to it, pulls it up, and then drags it up onto the truck. Roll off, it pulls it up and rolls it up on the back of the truck like they do a car, you know what I'm saying? And so it can pick up tons, literally, tons more material. I think when they heard, because me and David we know they were scammers. We've read the reviews. We've gone to the Better Business Bureau. There's an alert on their thing on the BBB, and I think when they heard the word concrete, that he needed a concrete dumpster, they sent him the wrong one on purpose. So they knew it would be too heavy. First one wasn't, but the second one, they got us. He took pictures. There was 5 empty feet on the back of the truck. They said, well, you got to take off more. So that cost us extra time. Well, he had to get a dumpster to put all that on. So we went to another company who, while he had the Bobcat, he scraped the driveway because, oh my gosh, people will just do any old thing. Several years back, we was, I don't know if it was when he had the Bobcat, when he pulled up the concrete, maybe, when he pulled up the patio. He had a Bobcat then because he had to move after he broke it up, which he worked like a dog, breaking that stuff up with a jackhammer. It was, oh my gosh, it was terrible. So he scraped the driveway down because we don't have a concrete driveway yet. That's on our to-do list. The inside of the house has got to be finished first. And then one day we'll get around to that. But until then, we got a gravel driveway. And so he scraped it down because, if you have a dirt driveway, a gravel driveway, it gets ruts in it from the rain and from the driving on it and this and that. Well, he wanted a new load of gravel. So he calls this place. He knows what kind of gravel he's going to get because that's the kind of stuff they hauled when his daddy owned a dump truck. So he knows his gravels. He knew what he wanted. And the guy says, well, it's cheaper if you get the crushed concrete. And so we talked about it. We're like, well, yeah, if it's cheaper and it's still like gravel, we'll take that. He didn't tell us it had big pieces in it. So my driveway is not a nice, he wasn't going to get pea gravel. He was, I don't know, he might have been going to get crush and run. I don't know. One of them good gravel driveways. No, I have about broke my neck more than one time because there's big hunks of concrete. It's not a smooth, even gravel. So anyway, he scraped all that up and had a big old pile of that sitting out there. So he did get an extra dumpster for that because you can't mix anything in with the concrete or then they charge you dump fees. This way they just charge you the dumpster fee and then they dump it. But if you had put anything else in there with it, then we'd have had to pay for the dump fee, which we were not going to do because it was like so much per ton and it would have cost us more that way than just to get another dumpster. But he got them that extra dumpster from these people. Oh, there's that big truck. Okay, so they had it wrapped up in a half a day. Turns out they didn't come get the Bobcat, which is still out there. You'd think people are waiting on those things. We're not paying for it. We just paid for the day we got, and if they leave it here, that's on them. But he was able to come in from work, get his Bobcat work done, get those 2 dumpsters. We had 3 dumpsters in the yard, the one in the back that wouldn't come, and 2 smaller ones up here in the front. He was able to get them both loaded and out of here in half a day. And here's the thing, even though it was a smaller dumpster, they brought it out with, like David said, a souped up Ford 350. And the one for the dumpster in the back, they had a truck, a big truck, with the hooks and all that stuff and the hydraulic system and everything. And he said the difference in those 2 companies was night and day. So when he come yesterday, I was in the bathroom again. You think I live in the bathroom? I was in the bathroom again and I heard a thump. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the dumpster people. So I took off running to the kitchen because if they didn't get it, I wanted to witness it. Well, he picked it up, he pulled it up, and he started, pulling it up. I'm like, oh, thank goodness it's going. Well, when it cleared the ground, I seen the chain for the door dangling on the back. Now, David says it has a safety latch, but still, this guy told me the very first day he came to pick up our first load that he always, because we talked for 2 days, we talked. When he brought it, and then when he comes out the first one, we talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. I know that's hard to believe. He says he always checks that chain if that chain's dangling, it ain't hooked. And he said he's had loads drop out the back, and all I saw was that chain dangling. I took off running. pathetic. Getting to the back door before he took off, I started flagging him down because when I opened the back door, right there it sets the truck. It's right there. I started flagging. He stopped. He turned the truck off. He looked at me. He was like a deer caught in headlights. I said, "The chain's off." And he's like, "Whew, you scared me. You scared me." I said, "Well, you told me the first time you've had loads dumped because that chain wasn't on there. So when I seen that chain dangling, I knew I better come get you." So he hooked that chain. And about the time he went back to hook that chain, here comes David around the corner. I didn't hear him because of the big truck. "How's it going, man?" So I come on in the house and they stood out there and talked. He said he tried to tell him. It almost didn't pick it up that day, which was a bunch of bull hockey because there was hardly no concrete on it. So that's how I know they're scamming. They're sending out equipment not capable of picking up what they're sending, and they know they're sending that. It's either that or they're just telling you it to tell you that. Either way, that's a scam. They know their equipment. They know what can and cannot pick it up, and they're not sending it. So anyway, that is the big dumpster saga. Thank goodness that thing is out of my backyard. Okay, now fast forward to when the dumpster left yesterday morning. David got in. No, backtrack. The night before, he went out here to, I told y'all on that something video, if you might not have seen it, he come out here to go to work, truck wouldn't start, so he had to take my car. When he come in yesterday morning, supposed to had gone to work, coming in, working on the yard because where the dumpster was and all around it had rained and it's marred up, and he was building that hard thing, whatever he was going to drag around there and fix, and some little spots up here in the front yard where that other dumpster was. But then he had to spend his whole day working on his truck, and he pinned down what it is, but he had to go to bed because he had to go to work last night. So he's got to come in today, blow another day of working on the yard to fix his truck. And the baby shower is Saturday. So he wants his yard, straightened out by Saturday, and he's still got to mow. And then after he mows, I got to blow it all off the front porch because when he weed eats, it flies everywhere. And I said, "Don't you be mowing that yard on no Saturday morning expecting me to be putting the baby shower together, coming out here with a hose pipe." Because I told him he can't. He can't squirt he does not have the power to squirt the front porch off. I have removed that power from him because he is a man on a mission. He does not see anything around him except for the goal and the task at hand. The task would be blow the porch off. And if he hit my flowers and knocked them off and blowed my little, floral arrangements I got over here, my little wicker stand, if it blowed them around, oh well, it blowed them around. Then I got to spend extra time cleaning up behind him. Just because he's that way. It's not intentional. That is just his way. It is from growing up around working on big trucks. He is rough and tough and tumble. And you would not think that talking to him, like when y'all see him on these tags, would you? He's very laid back. He's very laid back. But when it comes to doing physical things, he is pure T man. He is pure T just, let's just get in there and get it done. It don't matter what falls in the wayside. I got my job done. And that comes with being a truck driver and hooking and dropping trailers and dragging dollies around. And so anyway, bless his heart. So the baby shower is Saturday. There will not be a meal prep this week because Sunday I will be exhausted. I may still pretty sure I'll still be cleaning up from the shower. We'll get everything washed up, but then I'll let it sit out there and dry, and then I'll have to put everything back. I had to drag everything out of my closet in there in the craft room. That's my mini butler's pantry now, where I got all that kind of stuff. And so I drug everything out, and I'm not putting it back in until I put my party stuff back in. So all that stuff's sitting around the craft room. And but I got to do it in stages. It ain't like the old days where I could just clean house, cook food, decorate, do the whole 9 yards all in, a day. I can't do that. I have to do it in stages. So today I'm going to do my grocery shopping. Tomorrow I'm going to do my house cleaning. Friday I'm going to do my decorating. And Saturday the final preparation for the actual shower. But you know what? She's in her last month. She goes today, and that starts her last month of doctor visits. And we get Sebastian, not this coming Sunday, but the next on the 8th, and he'll be here for 3 weeks. So unless she is late by the tune of to the 29th, he will be here when the baby's born. So, like somebody said, he'll get to see his cousin. But she's got to find out today what is the hospital rules about children. Because I'm going to tell you what, if I can't get in there to see that baby, I'm going to have a stroke. If I have Sebastian while RJ's at work and she goes into labor, I've got to figure out, because David will be at work. If she goes into labor at night, he'll be at work, and it'll just be me and Sebastian. Well, yeah, because RJ gets off at midnight, and so he'll be sleeping here. RJ will go home and get some sleep, and then get him for the day, and then he'll come back over here, and we'll do that, Monday through Friday. And then RJ don't work weekends. Oh, that's right, RJ's going back to work. He got his doctor release yesterday, but still pray for him, because he's not, he still gets dizzy sometimes, and he doesn't have his stamina built up yet. He was so sick for so long and couldn't do anything for so long that he's just kind of, they say use it or lose it. That's kind of where he's at. So he's going to go back. He's going to give it his best shot. He's going to do the best he can. So y'all continue to pray for him. He's got a good job, and I don't want him to lose it. I don't want him to have to look for another one. It's a good job with good pay that he can support himself easily. So I need him to be able to keep that job. So y'all better get on it. And I think that's it. But yeah, he got his doctor's release. Did I say that? His doctor's note yesterday. What am I seeing blinking in my... Do y'all see that right there? Oh, it's a scuba. A scubas. That's what Sebastian calls it, scubas. Okay, so she will send videos down every now and then of Sebastian, and they got him playing t-ball. Oh my gosh. This kid could give 2 cents less about playing t-ball. She sent a video. They're out there playing. He's only 4. He won't be 5 in December. He was, I don't know what place he plays, but he was sitting on the base just dumping rocks playing with gravel, how the dirt of baseball field is, just sitting there doing that, not paying a bit of attention. RJ said, okay, hold on. RJ said, that's my boy. RJ, he could have cared less about sports. He's a technology person. He's all about the computer and the games, and he used to write. He can write. He can write imaginative stories that are very, I'm not talking about simple stories. I'm talking about very involved, detailed story. RJ's very intelligent. I'm not saying that because he's my child, but he's very intelligent, and he has a very he just is. So, but he was never into sports, and so, but he's seen Sebastian sitting there doing that. She sent us another video of him just standing there, just turning around and looking and doing this and that. We're just laughing because he doesn't want to be there, but we understand why they're doing it, because he's very energetic, and I'm gonna say that's the nicest way to put it. So I know they're trying to find a way to work it off. I know he's got to have ADHD. He's like a little butterfly, a little bee that just flits from flower to flower. You know how that goes. He cannot keep a focus, and he's very active and fidgety and moving. He can't. I'll tell him he'll be over here. I'm like, Sebastian, just light somewhere. Until he finds a show, because he calls them his shows, till he finds a show he's into, then he will sit there and watch that show. But if he's not interested in that show, you can forget it. He's all over the place. But told RJ, I asked RJ when we went to the store Monday, does he know he's coming? He said, yes, he knows he's coming. And said he's talking about when he was down here the other day, and he's talking about his Transformer toys that he got for Christmas. Because see, he got down here before Christmas, and I went ahead and gave them to him so he'd have time to play. And then RJ was exposed to that person at his work that had COVID. RJ didn't have COVID at that time, but he was exposed, so we didn't get to have Christmas like so many other people. So I still have Christmas gifts for him. I have all kind of Christmas candy. I have his Easter baskets. I have 2 Easter baskets because I got one for my house and one for RJ's house. I have toys. I have those pop-up laundry baskets, like nylon things. Well, Holly had one. There's work trucks around here loud. Holly had one when she moved out. She said, did I need that so I can use it for something? So I filled it full of all of Sebastian's stuff. And he's got stuff sitting on the outside. So he's not going to know what to get into first. And this is the amazing thing. I have him Reese's Easter eggs in them Easter baskets. I ain't tore into there and got them yet. I have done good. Okay, listen, oh, that's only 20 minutes. I can do that with my eyes closed. And if I say, I know you done turned it off, them people's done turned it off and they ain't listening, so they don't know I said it anyway, so it's kind of stupid to say it. But those of you that are still with me, this is what I'm going to change this week about my food. I should have done talked about that before, but I got on that blasted dumpster. I think, let me first of all say I did not go off plan. I stayed on the low carb plan, except for the banh mi, and that's hardly any carbs at all. That's still what I ate during the day. That still easily would have fit into my personal goal of 50 carbs or less, which I'm pretty sure I'm not meeting because I'm not hardly eating anything with a carb. I'm eating closer to keto than low carb, even though I'm still eating vegetables and some fruits. I'm not going keto low, but I'm eating more on that spectrum than I am of still having some healthy carbs, just keeping them lower, staying away from the simple carbs and still eating the complex carbs. So I think what I'm going to do is replace some of my like meat cheese snacks with some complex carbs, a little more fruit. I hate to say it, I just don't think I can eat no more vegetables. We have vegetables for supper, and I'm not going to snack on them during the day. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to. I'm doing what I have to do to lose 75 pounds. But I'm going to tell you what, eating vegetables as raw, fun time snacks, I cannot do it. That's where I draw the line. I will buy it and it will waste. And so my line in the sand is raw vegetables and snacks during the day. I'll go there and pick a piece of fruit. Like, ooh, them nectarines I got at the International Market. I had one yesterday. It was so sweet. It was so good. And my Scuppy Dines, any way you want to say it. Half of them are not even ripe. I picked one up and it was just as unripe and hard as you'd want it to be. I'm very disappointed in that. I'm glad I didn't get a big bag. If half of them had been like that, I'd have been really, really upset because they're not cheap. Excuse me. So I'm going to add in more beans because I said we're going to eat beans a couple times a week and I keep forgetting to make them. I keep gearing myself to everything to be low carb. I keep forgetting to add in some complex carbs, and you need the fiber. You really do. You need the fat in your diet, which I'm getting plenty of from the meats and cheeses and don't get my coffee, the cream and stuff like that. So I think I will try to. I'm not going to eat. Like, I'm not going to sit down and eat a bowl of rice, but I'm going to try to, at my meals at least, I'll still have my like Baby Bell cheeses for my snack and stuff like that. But I'm going to try to add more complex carbs in there and see if that don't help with the weight loss, because I think if, this is the way I see it, keto is a specific macro set and a specific, you watch your macros to make sure you stay in ketosis. And if you don't, I've read it plenty of times that say your weight loss stalls, your weight loss stops. So I think I'm somewhere in between healthy low carb and keto, which I'm not saying keto is unhealthy. I'm just saying I think I fall somewhere in the middle where I'm not getting the full benefit of just cutting out the white flour and the sugar, which I have done very successfully, I might add. And I'm not saying it braggish, but I'm proud that I was able to do that and not really miss it. Would I like to have a good old white bread sandwich? Yes, but I don't feel myself jonesing for it. And I'm not craving sugar like I used to. Knock on wood, I hate talking about this stuff because you know I'll jinx it. And then I'll be thinking I got to have some Little Debbie's tomorrow. But for now, I'm doing good. It's I've been doing this how long now? A month? Or a month and a week, something like that. I don't know. So you can teach yourself to, I don't know if you're not teaching yourself, but you can, I guess, maybe train your body to get over those cravings, because I have got over those cravings. Now, I'd still sit down and eat a big old hunk of chocolate cake if you put it in front of my face and I had no rules. But anyway, okay, well, I think that is all I was going to tell y'all was the dumpster and the truck and the baby shower. And like I say, Sebastian's coming. But yes, that's what she was going to ask today at the, I don't think I can finish the thought. Asked today at the doctor's, what is the hospital rules? Because I got to know. Because, you know, if she's in labor, I got to be sitting there waiting. She's got it down in her birth plan that me and Diddy, she calls him Diddy. Me and Diddy the first one that just come in and see the baby. And I hope he's not at work, because I want us to go in together. I want us to go in at the same time. And if we are there at the same time, I don't want one of us to have to stay out there and watch Sebastian. And then I don't know if his parents will be there, if maybe they would watch Sebastian. I don't know how it's going to work. This COVID has got everything messed up. There's got to be something for parents that have children already. There's got to be some kind of way, because everybody doesn't have somebody to come watch their children when they go to have a baby. I know this. Everybody doesn't live in an ideal situation. We don't live in some black and white 1950s TV show. How nice would that be? Except for the woman having to do everything. Anyway, well, that's all I'm doing. I'm getting, even the birds telling me, just shut up. Just shut up and go. You're getting stupid. Okay, well, that's all I know for today. And like I said, no meal prep. I don't know when I'll be back. So I'll just see you in my next video.